The following podcast is a part of RadioMisfits.com. Well, it's that time again, the Mr. Nailsin Show. Well, I've got a raging headache, and I ran out of time. I didn't have time to do another episode of Bubba Stargone, so that'll have to go in the hopper for later. In the meantime, I've got help once again from Pat Dixon. We've been doing shows together this week as usual, and asked him to help me out to do this show where we'll, talk about some crimes and shitty crimes and all that. And it'll be a lot of fun. So thanks for doing the show, Pat.
It's always a pleasure.
Yeah. So, and while I mention it, you want to check out PD Dixon on YouTube. Yes, Pat is back on YouTube.
Amazing, isn't it?
Yeah.
I never thought it would happen.
Right. I know. Miracles do happen.
I mean, like, you think you're off YouTube. It's like they just have all the, control there, all the power.
Yeah.
Why would they reach down and flip a switch to get my channel back on? But somehow
it happened. So, and especially lately, we took a look at the Steel Toe saga. If you're aware of Dabbleverse, and it really probably hit a high point this week as Steel Toe got arrested, if only briefly, but nevertheless, and did a lot of cover there. All kudos to Patrick Melton and his coverage thereof and all that cool stuff. So probably more on that in the future. And then our other show, Jokes Kill, over at compoundcensored.tv, where we cover the other shows there and give commentary and analysis. And it's kind of like a sampling of what's available at Compound Censored.
and everything that they're talking about is all stuff we care about. So it ends up being a great jumping off point for other stuff to talk, for other conversations that are so important.
Yeah. And we feel so much more enlightened afterward.
Well,
sometimes. So anyway, you'll catch us there, and it's all kinds of fun. But here we are at Nailsin Show, and I'll try to make it fun. But right off the bat, I intended to do a Bayou Crime Report special inspired by the title of Pat Dixon's New York City Crime Report. Done quite a few of those. And typically my imaginary co-host, Red Neckerton, has the hosting duties. But he's off in his imaginary truck, probably passing through your neighborhood, Pat, hauling a load. So it's just going to be me dealing with some of these Louisiana crimes and then a few other crimes across the nation. So right off the bat, our friends at the New York Post caught this little story. Louisiana TV anchor resigns after he was allegedly caught sexting 15-year-old girl who turned out to be vigilante predator hunters. So quite the honey trap, Pat. There he is. He's an anchor man. So a married Louisiana TV anchor, has abruptly quit his job after he was accused of sexting with someone he thought was a 15-year-old girl. But when he set up a meet and greet with the teen, she, quote unquote, turned out to be a trio of vigilante predator hunters. Bill Lunn, 59, who was news director and a key on-air face at KTBS in Shreveport, arranged the meetup at his home during lunchtime on May 29th. When 3 men arrived, he called the cops and claimed the men beat him up and tried to steal his truck. However, the amateur sleuths, Antonio Coleman, Cameron Kinnan, and Catario Grigsby, waited for the cops and told their side of the story. They handed over what was said was a trove of evidence that proved Lunn's pervy behavior. You could see the guilt in his eyes. He knew, like, oh, I'm done, Coleman told the station. So we're looking at a picture of Mr. Lunn, and
Mhm.
do you see the guilt in his eyes, Pat?
Yeah. I see. Yeah, I see something in his eyes that I don't like. It's yeah, like who looks good taking a selfie? Unless you're like a 22 girl, 22
Right,
year old
right.
girl,
Yeah, yeah.
and this guy's
This guy's really full of himself.
this is a news director of a station.
Yeah, he's the director and he's an anchor man. So I guess yeah, it said he's been there a while.
It's always a shame when like some trusted news guy, I mean, locally, we know
Yeah.
nationally there just aren't any trustworthy like
No, no, they're all full of
news guys.
shit. But locally, they tend to be a little bit better than that.
Sometimes locally, yeah, you see
Yeah.
there's a your name in news or whatever. Now this guy's just the news director. Oh, he resigned as anchor and news
Yeah, he
director.
was an
So
anchor, but he was also, yeah, the director of the, so it's
he
pretty big
doesn't.
at the station.
This is not a guy that I would sort of trust.
Hey, can you
Just
watch the kids while I go?
that gleam in his eye, that just says, "I'm searching for something."
I yeah, he was.
Sexting a 15-year-old girl. Wow. I mean, the crime is right in that, isn't it? It's like he didn't even have
Yeah.
to, he can't even meet up and be like, I wasn't going to do anything.
Yeah, I
Trying to
know.
help.
You're already caught. We did a show, another one of our many shows, late as fuck, where we looked at a guy who was being interrogated, caught in the same type of sting. Uh, and he went on about, well, this girl or whoever. He was really irritated that he had been fooled and there never was any girl.
Yeah, well, he kept referring to her by her fake name
Yeah, yeah.
and
Emily
talking
or
about
something.
her.
Yeah. Yes. He had this whole fantasy relationship.
And then he had to like catch himself like later in the interview, but only later was he like, or whoever it was. It's like
Yeah, yeah.
he still had not shaken that fantasy girl from his mind.
Right, right.
These guys are really, look, it's terrible what they do.
Yeah.
It's a predatory thing, and
Oh,
I
yes.
know how. And this is not to, sound sympathetic towards them. They're pathetic and pitiful.
Yes. They have a
Pathetically,
problem.
they have a problem, but they have they have their problem that's unique to actually how they are, which is
Yeah.
the sick criminal aspect of it. And then they have a problem that everybody has, which is the loneliness.
Yeah, yeah.
And not everybody, but
Well,
certainly
loneliness can, yeah.
Loneliness
Everybody
takes-
experiences it at some point.
at some point, and it
Yeah.
make and it's really it's so crucial to I mean, because a lot of people just when they hear mention of this, they just go wood chipper, and I got no problem with that.
Right, right.
But when you it gets cringier when you're like, yeah, I know, when they're describing how lonely they are and shit like that. You're like,
Yeah, yeah.
too bad, so sad, like, and everybody feels that way, but at some point, like you said, but
Yeah. But
it does make it cringier when you feel like, oh, I felt that way. It doesn't mean that you
right, right. You understand the
like
loneliness and whatnot. The rest of it, no. And it's like, couldn't you have shot for 35? Yeah.
that would have been bad enough.
He's 59.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I say bad enough, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, right.
Isn't that a big enough age difference to conquer? It's not even the age difference, of course. It's like just the 15-year-old. He thought she was 15.
Right.
He thought he knew her to be 15. I don't even know what does a 15-year-old girl say while sexting?
Yeah, I know. It's just enough that the message said, well, I'm 15. Oh, yeah.
I'll do all the talking.
He went from there. So the trio, who described themselves as predator hunters, said they created I guess they're predators, created a fake profile on dating app Meet Me and had been posing as the teen for several weeks in a bid to catfish local men who were trying to meet underage girls for slacks. They claim Lund started engaging with the so-called teen on late May 28th, the night before he allegedly made arrangements to meet. They had a little conversation going on, and he asked how old she was. The girl told him she was 15 years old. Said Coleman, who claimed he was pretending to be the teen. Now, it's three of them. I wonder how they do that. Do you think they draw straws? You get to be the girl. You have
Oh,
to
yeah,
talk
what's the
to this
division of
guy.
labor there? Yeah.
Yeah, there's three of them. And so, all right,
Maybe
Coleman.
maybe they sort of like it's a triumvirate, and and they had to figure out each response.
Is it,
I wouldn't want to try and put my head in I would, it would be gross.
I know you got to talk to this guy.
But they must have, like, when they got this guy, they must have been like, we got a whale here, man.
Oh, yeah.
News
Hey,
director.
is that? Hey, holy shit, that's Lund from the news.
Like, I wonder if they knew before they got together with. I mean, like, the guy.
I mean, he gave his address and
and his name and shit.
yeah, I guess so. Man,
There he is again, though.
You're
You
a
see
TV
that
personality, and you
that
did this.
vacant look in his eyes.
Yeah, we're looking at another image of him, and
Now, I hate to say that, because I don't hate Andy Kaufman, but it's that look that Andy Kaufman did ironically, I think.
right, right,
like,
yeah,
hey, like he's an
yeah,
innocent fucking
yeah.
immigrant.
I mean, it's like I say this. This is the only thing I know of this guy is this case. But had I seen him before that, I was still, jeez, this guy looks creepy.
Yeah, sometimes you wonder
There's
if
something
like
off, like he's not real.
your idea of his looks is like informed too much by what you're reading, but I don't think so.
No,
No, he looks
I would
fuck.
immediately assume this guy's full of shit type guy. You know?
He looks like he's in a cult.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. He looks like one of those guys. And when you take our program, oh, it's just gonna feel like the weight of the world has been lifted off of you.
Don't tell your mother; she won't
Don't tell your
understand.
mother. Oh God. And there's the wife. Oh boy.
See, look at that. He's already hitting at above
Yeah.
average here,
Above, yeah.
whatever you want to call it. He's doing well.
Yeah.
She's very attractive.
She is. It's like you had this.
Got those big DSLs and those warm dark eyes, lovely figure,
Yeah, it's just all the more reason to hate him.
chestnut brown hair.
Well, she's soon to be single, I imagine. I need to look her up.
Well, we know she likes journalistic types, so
Yeah, right. We're reporting on this sad story. He was like sending pictures to her. He was saying like he wanted to do this to her. Explicit things that I can't say on camera. When the news anchor arrived at his home for the meetup, Coleman said he quickly fled after the trio alerted him to the sting operation. As Bill was running off, he yells, I have a wife and kids. So, come on.
the answer to a question no one answered.
Yeah,
I mean, the asked rather.
And I guess these are all his kids. They blurred the faces. He had 4 kids.
What do you have, fucking triplets there?
Yeah.
They're all the same size.
They do. Man, maybe so. I don't know.
They
3
all blurred
boys and
out.
a girl. Anyway, that's great. He had a daughter. I'm sitting there as he's running off, in my head. How can you say that when you literally walked yourself in the house expecting to meet an underage teenager?
I'll tell you, because it's I'm thinking now of what was at stake and
Yeah.
what I have to lose, and
I'm
I'm suddenly
play on
realizing what a bad idea this was.
Yeah, I'm panicking. I'm in absolute panic, and I'm desperately trying to prey upon some sympathy here. I know you hate me, but think of my wife and kids. What it'll do to them to find out about this.
Does that move the needle?
No, they need to know.
Yeah. They would be honest with me. I care about your wife and kids more than you do, asshole. What do you think of these guys who just do this independent like this?
Well, yeah, and how many were they looking at before they caught a big one here? I don't know. It doesn't go into detail as to their career, but some of this, it runs afoul sometimes, but on the other hand, it's kind of
So
a
does law
service.
enforcement, right?
Yeah, yeah. Law enforcement does this all the time, and so as long as they don't go too far with like they're gonna go beat the living shit out of the guy and kill him, and it turns out, oh, wrong one. That kind of thing.
Like her fictitious dad would.
I mean, I don't. They shouldn't have gone to his house. They should have contacted law enforcement and told them what they had, and had them deal with it.
But you know what? I bet they figure is that like they won't act on it quickly enough. They'll,
Possibly, yeah, yeah.
maybe there's some evidentiary problems, with
Right.
like you could have been having. We don't know what you've been doing, But then again, once
Yeah.
they catch the guy, I mean, like, is it going to be any better?
Yeah, he may walk on this if there's not enough here.
I mean, it's not like he took. I mean, the sexting obviously is unlawful, but
Yeah.
is
But
the
but there's no
and why
girl.
would he
Yeah.
flee from his own home?
I know. He shows
I,
up
I
at his house and those guys are there. I don't yeah, it's
oh, they
strange.
were there waiting for him
Yeah, he went I guess he's leaving the station or whatever to meet the girl that I guess
at his
they
house.
yeah, texted him and said, "I'm waiting." All right, I'm on the way. And then he's like, it's these three dudes, and he's like, "Oh fuck." It would be hilarious if he had done a story on them earlier. Interviewed them about what they do. And then, oh shit. It's like the
Oh,
reverse Chris Hansen.
like, wait a second.
Yeah, I was only kidding, guys.
And these guys are such true believers too. I mean, they fall for it so deep sometimes. Like we were saying, they can
Yeah.
he could be getting the shit beat out of him, and they're holding him and waiting for the cops to come, and he's like,
So where's Amy?
where's Bree?
Yes. You idiot.
Where is
There
she?
is no Bree.
Why are you stopping me from seeing her?
Don't you understand our relationship? But that's the thing.
He
His fascination and obsession overtook him.
well, he vehemently denies the allegations,
Yes.
but he
So
went ahead
his
and resigned.
right his attorney, uh do do Thompson.
Let's hope it's due and not duh. DHU.
Yeah. Duh, Thompson. It is our preliminary understanding that this incident was not the fault of a law enforcement investigation, but rather one done by private individuals. Yeah, but goods are goods. They got it. Our primary concern at the time is that law enforcement receives all evidence surrounding this incident so that they can make a thorough and complete review. Mr. Lunn has cooperated with authorities and vehemently denies any allegations of wrongdoing.
All evidence, yeah. And then like Lund is going, ixnay on the evidence,
Yeah, can we just
we
have
might
that
not want to
removed?
see all of that.
You said that? And then in the pictures he sent, was he naked?
God. Dick pics. I mean, you're right. He may walk on it.
He may.
I mean, has he been arrested?
I don't think so. It is
So
our hope that, yeah, because they called the police saying, "Hey, these guys are at my property," and he says they attacked him. I'm assuming they established that didn't happen. So the guys explain why they're there to the police, and they turn over all the communications, and they're like, "Well, what
and
have
now
we
arrest
here?"
is coming up soon, I'm
Yeah.
sure. Yeah.
It is our
Yeah.
hope that after a thorough review of the evidence surrounding the matter, that Mr. Lund will be shown to be innocent and cleared of all allegations. Lund started working at KTSB in 2019 and was promoted to news director last August. He just got the job. The TV station launched an internal investigation immediately after learning of the incident outside his home last week. His resignation was effective immediately on Monday. So it just turns out to be bullshit. Does he get it? He doesn't get his life back.
No, he doesn't.
God, his wife is beautiful.
It's yeah,
Looking at
lovely
pictures of her, she's quite the catch, way out of his league.
She'll see. Wait, who's that back there? There's somebody back there in the
Oh
trees.
wow, yeah, there's someone back there in a red hat.
I mean, like, I don't know if it matters or not, but
Yeah, he's been stalked all this time. Is that one of the predator hunters? So
well,
far, no charges have been brought against Lund or the men involved in the sting. The post has reached out to local cons, but they didn't return a call. So
are there any shows that are dedicated to? I mean, besides Chris Hansen, I guess
I think so. I think there's
predator hunters.
yeah, there's probably some of those. I think there's a YouTube channel for it and stuff.
Well, this is how you know that predators are real.
Well, yes.
Because they can ghost hunt all they want. Never any ghosts.
Yeah. Yeah, you never they don't have their Chris Hansen version of the ghost interviewer. Why don't you take a seat there?
The
You
ghost has to sit down.
yeah, you've been haunting this place for 40 years. When's it gonna
I,
stop?
I was trying to save them.
That's not gonna save anybody, sir. It's
You
only
said
gonna
you wanted
air
to
up
get
their sleeve.
blazed. You said you were blazed.
Yes, you were blazed. Oh, jeez. Uh, a lot of great times on the shows we've done. So check out Pat Dixon's catalog of shows and find out about.
He's got one of the lamer kinds of leather jackets on here.
Oh yeah, yeah, all worn out. Which
Yeah,
is
it's kind of
obviously
like
not the age it looks.
sort of a bomber jacket kind of
Yeah,
a thing,
yeah.
but like yeah, exactly. It's what do they call that when it's
A pre-aged or
distressed or
whatever.
pre-aged
Yeah,
or something?
yeah.
Yeah.
For the looks, like the people who buy blue jeans that already had the knees cut out.
It's like, yeah, that's smart. Well,
It's the dumbest thing.
I never had any problems. Like everything I have looks old and shitty on its own. I don't need to buy a
I could
pre-distressed.
do that over time and earn it.
Yeah. Man, that guy
Yeah,
looks like his
this
name
looks
should be
alone.
Chipper.
Yeah, it just looks alone. I'm saying guilty. Meanwhile, over in Baton Rouge, that's the capital of Louisiana. It means red stick because the French explorer, of course, I'm blanking on his name, in this region saw a stick.
It's Columbus.
And it was
Ponce de Leon.
no. Damn, why am I blanking?
Somebody French, I guess.
Yeah,
Charlemagne.
He was French, yes. So he saw a red stick and he named the area Red Stick or Baton Rouge. Well, anyway, an ex-Baton Rouge officer has been indicted, accused of kidnapping and sexually coercing a woman while on duty. Duty. So there we go. He has a documented history of sexually coercing women while on duty. Formally indicted Wednesday, more than 3 years after he allegedly assaulted a woman in his apartment. Wade Hill, and I think I have his picture. If you can you see it?
Yes.
Okay, I didn't know how because Zoom they're different from one to the other. There he is, but remember, he's presumed innocent until proven guilty. So that's
maybe for them.
Yeah. So we're looking at his mugshot. He is a African American gentleman. He's 43, and he was indicted by a grand jury in East Baton Rouge Parish on charges of second-degree kidnapping and malfeasance in office. They're really upset that he did this while on duty, Pat. Had he done this in his private time, it might have been a lesser charge.
Yeah.
The victim, as well as a woman from a separate incident, have also filed federal lawsuits against Hill. Former police chief Murphy Paul, the Baton Rouge Police Department, and city of Baton Rouge are named as defendants in both federal suits.
Oh, boy.
The charges stem from a July 2022 encounter when Hill, then a second-year officer with BRPD, responded to a trespassing complaint at an apartment complex. Civil court records state that Hill handcuffed the female suspect and, instead of transporting her to a police precinct, took her to his residence. He forgot a couple of things he needed to pick up on the way.
Please take me to jail, please.
Yes. He then placed her in the back seat of his personnel vehicle, drove her to several locations, made verbal, and physical sexual advances, and ultimately brought the handcuffed woman to an apartment he had access to along Highland Road. So it's like an extra place he's got.
Mm.
So, you know,
Old
maybe,
fuck house.
yeah, his fuck room, though his wife doesn't know about it.
Love shack.
Yeah. After releasing her from handcuffs, Hill performed a sex act in front of her.
I don't know. He always wanted to perform.
Yes. Without her consent. You see, Louis C.K. did it the right way. He asked for the consent.
Oh, yeah. But the power dynamic here is probably
Yeah,
such that it wouldn't matter.
it probably wouldn't. He then dropped her off at the parking lot of a nearby nail salon and offered to pay for a manicure.
Jeez.
Maybe that'll make up for it.
Damn. Damn. That is wild.
I mean, and also he's insulting her fingernail.
Well, I'm trying to buy her silence,
Yeah.
with a manicure.
The lawsuit cited surveillance videos, body cam footage. Oh, you idiot.
Wow.
His own body cam was still rolling. And GPS tracking that corroborated the woman's report. I'll bet. Which department officials investigated internally. The evidence eventually led Paul and other high ranking officials to announce his arrest in September 2022. The second degree kidnapping charges carries between 5 and 40 years in prison in Louisiana, while malfeasance in office can bring up to 5 years. So if he gets it all, it's 45 years, Pat.
I mean, like malfeasance in office is not a very serious sounding crime.
No, but I guess in when it has to do with kidnapping and sexual assault.
Well, what I mean is that they're only punishing it with 5 years.
Yeah, yeah. So like it falls under that category, but it could be like he was stealing stuff from the evidence room, running scams or something while in uniform and that kind of thing.
Oh, so this is just a tacked on kind
It's
of.
a tacked on thing. The main thing is I would gather the kidnapping and sexual assault.
Yeah.
A separate federal
Wait,
lawsuit.
can we,
Yes.
I'm sorry.
What? Go ahead.
Can we just like sort of review the facts here? This is because I'm not sure I understand this. He's an on duty officer
Yes.
and he picks up a woman. And there's another woman in a separate incident here that have filed charges,
filed
lawsuits,
charges,
federal lawsuits.
Right.
And there are criminal charges.
Yes.
He was a second-year officer in 2022.
Yeah.
Came to a trespassing complaint in an apartment complex.
Mm-hmm.
Handcuffed a female suspect, trespasser.
Right.
And he took her to his home. And then he put her in the back seat of his personal vehicle, which is not the squad car.
Yeah.
Drove her around to a few different places, telling her he wanted to, what he wanted to do. Ultimately brought this handcuffed woman to a separate apartment that he had access to. And then he took her out of the handcuffs, jerked off in front of her.
Yes.
And then dropped her off. He did all this just to jerk off.
Yes.
In front of a trespasser.
He could have brought her to the police station and then jerked off later on his own time.
I mean, it's just, he got so nothing out of it.
No. I've got to beat off in front of her.
Best case scenario, you get no sex. I mean, he's not even a rapist.
Not in this instance. I don't know about the other woman, but.
And have taken her and put her in the back of a squad car, handcuffing her, and taking her wherever the fuck you want to go with her till you're done.
and all this trouble,
while you're armed,
yes,
armed with the implicit threat of violence,
right?
And what's it take to be first degree kidnapping, you know?
Yeah, I know, because this is kidnapping. I mean, it's flat out. I mean, I
Maybe
guess
if,
because it was in the in with an arrest, but then
or
it went
maybe,
way off. You know,
which is worse.
yeah,
That should be an aggravating factor. And like, I guess because he didn't ask for ransom,
yeah, I guess so.
or maybe because he offered to buy her a manicure.
Yeah, yeah, that's a mitigating circumstance. Look, Your Honor, my client did offer a manicure to make up for it.
So that's going to bring down the charging
Yeah.
uh, criteria. I mean, I don't know. I'm just saying it doesn't get more kidnappy than this.
No. So, a separate federal lawsuit alleges Hill coerced another woman into sex while on duty in January 2022 during a response to a domestic disturbance. The suit claims Hill detained the woman as a suspect and, over the course of multiple hours, drove her to various locations. This is all a part of the fetish. He likes to drive them around Baton Rouge.
Well, it works up his nerve, maybe.
Yeah. All while he appeared to be attempting to convince his supervisor on the phone to allow the woman to avoid jail time after bringing her to his
Oh, that was probably a little fake.
Yeah. See, if you help me out, I can help you out. So he took her to his precinct, then a hospital. He'll ultimately transported the handcuffed woman to the apartment complex along Highland Road. There, he told the woman she could get her charges dropped if she had sex with him.
The plaintiff complied.
Yes.
Wow. I mean, this is a whole new wrinkle, isn't it?
So this is he extorted her for sex.
Yeah. Which I guess the charge, she's like, I'll eat the trespassing charge. This must have been more serious, like a domestic violence thing. But it's a domestic disturbance.
Right.
And he took the woman. This guy probably, more so than other officers, is fair minded in terms of like who's to blame, the man or the woman. Or maybe it was like she's terrified, he's got an axe in his hands. I'll kill that bitch. She's like, ma'am, afraid I'm going to have to take you in.
He puts her in handcuffs.
What are you talking about? Look at him. He's trying to kill me. Well, that's your side of the story, psycho. Yeah. A suspect in a domestic. I mean, like, Jesus, dude.
Yeah.
If she was in some way, responsible in this domestic violence thing, domestic disturbance, whatever.
Right.
You'd think that he would know better than to think he's going to get away with coercing her. I mean, she ain't gonna. She fights back.
The attorney who represents both plaintiffs claimed the department failed to properly vet, train, or discipline Hill, despite his extreme misconduct, and that the city and police force lacked a sexual harassment policy to protect residents from officer misconduct. I mean, he's committing crimes. You don't need a policy.
If you got right, needless to say,
yeah,
we have a policy against kidnapping.
Yeah, officers are not allowed to kidnap women for sex.
Well, you need that to be part of the training. What about the opening paragraph? If you notice the lead, it went by quick, but it says he had a documented history of sexually coercing women while on duty.
Yeah, and so far they're telling us of 2 incidents.
Yeah, but I mean, maybe there was more before that or something. I mean, he was formally indicted Wednesday, more than 3 years after the misconduct. So, okay. I sorry. I for some reason I thought they were suggesting that, like, yeah, he kind of does that.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like. Like there might have been other complaints that he would make untoward advances on different female suspects or whatever.
Or maybe officers, and then he's like, yeah, no, you know what, man, I got to go to suspects.
Yeah, they're more under your control when you can cuff them. The attorney, oh yeah, I did that one. Hill had previously served with the Plaquemine Police Department and the West Baton Rouge Sheriff's Office. Uh, okay, but were there any stories there too? I wonder. Federal lawsuit related to the July 2022 incident is currently stayed pending in the outcome of Hill's criminal case, while the case regarding the January 2022 incident was dismissed due to the statute of limitations.
What?
Holy shit.
What?
Oh,
The one
man.
where he coerced the domestic violence one.
Yes. Where he
Or domestic disturbance or whatever. He took her and said,
yeah.
"I'll drop the charges.
Yeah.
If you fuck me." Well, we can't get him on that one. It's too long.
Well, you said yes.
I just it's shocking now because they've done nothing but lengthen statutes of limitations. That was only 3 years ago.
That's not
three and a
that
half.
long. Yeah, yeah.
Whoa! I mean, really though, I do think that there should be a short statute of limitations on rape, sexual assault, stuff like that.
Well, especially when it's if the quote unquote victim waits a certain amount of time to make the charge.
Oh,
she did this immediately. Well, that's a little different. And then it's like, well, then she does have a lawsuit claim of they sat on their ass, and now the statute of limitations ran out.
Yeah, I mean, you got to report this shit, or it didn't happen.
Right.
All right, you can't just hold it forever.
No. So
some E. Jean Carroll bullshit.
Right. Oh yeah, that's.
Didn't even remember what year it happened. It was so long ago, allegedly.
Yeah. So I don't know. Maybe they sounds like they really do have a solid lawsuit. if this was just they stalled it, and say, well, statute of limitation.
This is the capital.
Yes. Well, Baton Rouge has really gone south. It's crime ridden. That's the place where one of the parish, a certain section became a new parish. They wanted to break off from Baton Rouge, and they did. They seceded.
Well, that's awesome.
Yes, because they were tired of this shit.
And they were they able to do that?
Yes.
And they're no longer part of Baton Rouge.
They're not a part of Baton Rouge.
They're their own thing.
They got their own police department and all that. Yes.
White town.
Primarily, I'm afraid so. There's black people there. None of them are in a hurry to leave.
Right. Wow.
So, yeah, that's what happened. And Baton Rouge is really, I mean, maybe this isn't applicable to the overall downward spiral, but geez, only 3 years plus that it happened at all. And there was no pursuit of this. And he's only now getting indicted over the story of the woman he beat off in front of.
Take your time, guys.
He was really popular with the guys. I don't know.
These police officers taking women, like doing this to women is like rare.
Yeah.
But like not unheard of. It's the odds of getting caught, man, are just like,
oh yeah. The guy left his body cam on.
Yeah. I mean, he couldn't be more reckless. The guy who did it in his name was Holtzclaw, Officer Holtzclaw in Oklahoma. And they put him away for hundreds of years for this shit. And the case, it turns out, I mean, it sounds bad,
yeah,
but it was really trumped up. And they were just finding crackheads, and like women were getting off the stand and going like, "Okay, I gave my testimony. Where's my money?" Literally, one said that.
That's like, well, that's even worse than the Duke lacrosse case.
Yeah, like the evidence is very weak.
And he's got to do 100 years.
Hundreds of years. He'll never get out. And like here's the other part is that like they do have DNA evidence.
Yeah.
But it's not like it wasn't in the exact place that it would be, and all the places that it would be. Right. And it's only in like one case. And it was like it was completely possible, like there's a very, very there's a sizable reasonable doubt there.
So
and it was one of these
just his DNA, but it's not like semen or something like that.
or like it's or there was some of her DNA like near his fly
Oh,
or something, which could have been,
that could be, yeah, no, that's not enough.
there was
Right.
it was not conclusive how it would have gotten there or whatever. It's like the
Yeah.
case is it's pretty good. It's pretty interesting,
Yeah.
but like it's fucked up, for the guy. Like I don't know. I think that there must have been some motive to do it, maybe a financial incentive, which it wouldn't take much because these were all very very poor black women.
Yeah. Well, I mean, ultimately these things they kind of snowball once they starts happening, and then it's like, there's really nothing here, but I'm this far in, I'm gonna go with
Yeah, they're
it.
pot committed and they have to shove.
Yeah, so pay the girls off and let's throw this guy away. So I think this, well, no, most of the story, yeah, that one. Okay. I thought I had only a few Louisiana, but this is another Louisiana one.
Bayou.
Yeah, not far from my neck of the woods. So this woman, it's sad, when families turn on one another, but there's always some element that comes between them and whatnot. And so in this case, a woman strangled her granddaughter after accusing the girl of stealing her meth. And we're looking at her mugshot, which is superimposed over, well, a trailer park, some shitty old house.
But well manicured lawns.
Yes, the lawns
I
look great.
I would actually file this under Poe but proud.
Yeah,
Because it really looks nice.
it does. It's what, yeah, somebody's got a really good lawnmower there.
This neighborhood in Jennings, Louisiana.
Yes, Jennings, Louisiana. A Louisiana woman was arrested and charged with several counts of drug possession after police said she allegedly attacked her granddaughter for stealing her methamphetamine. The Jennings Police Department announced the arrest of 62-year-old Margot Lynn Patton on 9 charges of drug possession of drug paraphernalia, 2 counts of possession of a firearm in the presence of a controlled dangerous substance, and obstruction of justice. According to police, Patton also allegedly strangled her own granddaughter, described as a juvenile.
Not to bury the lead.
Yeah, by the way, she strangled her granddaughter for stealing her drugs. Jennings police stated that they responded to a call on Thursday after the granddaughter reported that Patton strangled her because she believed the girl stole her methamphetamine. Would have been funny if she had called the police. That bitch stole my meth.
Yeah, you got no recourse if someone steals your drugs. It's too bad.
I know. What are you going to do? You can't call the cops. After their investigation into the alleged incident progressed, police got a search warrant for Patton's home. Police stated that they executed the warrant. They discovered a wide variety of narcotics, including meth, crack cocaine, and marijuana. Plus,
oh, there it is.
we knew it was there somewhere. Yeah, there it is. Oh, I thought she'd stolen it.
I'm sorry, baby.
Well, next time, call us ahead of time.
She needs to get one of those drug dogs just to keep her around the house.
Go find it, Duke. Additional narcotics in pill form. They also seized 3 firearms, one of which had been reported stolen. Patton was also searched, and police found a container with crack cocaine. I wonder where they found it.
Oh, there it is.
I was sitting on it the whole time.
She accidentally sat on her meth.
Crack in the crack.
Oh, crack.
Yeah, yeah.
Crack in the crack. That's why they call it crack.
Yes. Because that's where you keep it. According to police, Patton's alleged.
It was either that or call it butthole, right?
No, I can't stop doing butthole. Patton's alleged criminal activity continued as she was being transported to jail when she allegedly attempted to discard a container that had more suspected crack cocaine behind the transport seat of the vehicle in which she was riding. Man, she's just got drugs all over the place, apparently.
Mm.
Yeah.
I mean, they didn't find it when they searched her, but they found some crack, but not all the
They
crack.
didn't search deep enough.
There must have been a crack that they left untouched.
Oh,
Yeah.
she's being held on $20,000 bond. So that's sad. The
Well,
granddaughter had
yeah, not a lot of trust in families anymore.
no.
Did she steal it so she could do it, or did she steal it so that
Well,
because
grandma looks pretty old. I'm looking at her mugshot, and
she's a hard 62.
yeah, yeah, I know. Only six, and a black woman. And usually, you know,
Black don't what?
don't crack. Well, when you do too much crack, you crack.
Sometimes black cracks.
So, and maybe the girl never stole anything. She just couldn't find where she left it.
It sounds like that's pretty possible, right? It
Yeah.
seems like when you're irritated looking for those drugs, you might be looking for someone to blame.
There's some amount of irritation.
Can we see the comments on that?
Oh yeah.
I just hope they don't say something like,
Geist van Panzer. He's a typical one. My grandmother had a huge M&M container and a cookie jar filled with freshly baked cookies that we would raid. And she never tried to strangle us.
okay, Von Panzer. The Nazis have spoken.
Yeah. And then someone's asked, what kind of cookies were they?
That's such a dumb question.
That's it. That's all the comment.
Don't steal Granny's meth.
Yeah,
These are life lessons everyone should know.
Exactly. Thank you, Mr. NZ or Miss NZ. Yes. Don't steal Granny's meth. Now look what you've done. Oh, jeez. Well, good luck, Granny.
Doesn't feel good getting choked.
It doesn't. No. So, the final Louisiana man story: a Louisiana man allegedly injected his mom with meth. Boy, meth is a popular drug out here, Pat. I don't know if you're aware of that. Fatally beat her and placed her body in a trash can.
This is a white crime.
Yeah. Yes.
Injected his mother with meth. That's more of a white thing.
He is white. And
look at him.
We're looking at his. I don't know if it's it's not a mugshot, but
he looks like an alti 90s comedian.
Yeah, he looks that sad.
Yeah, kind of bald with a beard.
Yeah,
messed up hair.
I had some meth and I injected it into my mom.
Oh, it's an Opelousas.
Opelousas. So yeah, they arrested him on June 22nd. Officers responded to a home after a man admitted to killing his mother and disposing of her body. At the scene, officers discovered human remains in a trash can underneath the carport. Investigators identified Aaron Lloyd as the primary suspect because he told them, I'm the primary suspect, and located him at the home in Knott's Spring. During an interview. Yes. Oh, Crotts. Yeah, Crotts.
Crotts Springs.
If you're gonna name it, name a town that's just gonna
named after
name.
The Crotts family, very prominent.
During an interview, he reportedly confessed that he killed his mother, Lisa Lloyd, and said he injected her with methamphetamine before he beat her to death.
Maybe he was just trying to even it up as a fight, give her super strength.
Give her a fighting chance. She still lost. I'm the champion. Aaron Lord was booked into the St. Landry Parish Jail and faces charges of first-degree murder, aggravated second-degree battery, obstruction of justice, obstruction, he called you, failure to seek assistance, again, he called you,
But
distribution, Schedule 2 drugs.
also, can we just say, we don't know the context. What did she do to him? You know?
Yeah, exactly. One day, he had had enough. In a statement, Opelousas police chief Craig LeBlanc said, "This is a deeply tragic and heartbreaking case that has impacted our entire community." If you say so. We ask that everyone keep the Lloyd family lifted in prayer during this incredibly difficult time. Our department is committed to pursuing justice with integrity, and we thank the St. Landry Parish Sheriff's Office for their swift and professional assistance. Well, that's nice.
Well, that covers all the bases. Yeah,
Yeah,
this is terrible. But we don't get the motive. I mean, like, there has to be a motive.
Probably she got it. Maybe it's similar to the previous story. She got into his meth stash.
And you like meth, do you?
Oh, you like it, huh? And then he just injected her with it, held her down. And as she continued to struggle, he just started beating the crap out of her. And then he's like, oh, she's dead.
Yeah, I don't know my own strength, I guess.
So
I'm glad to hear the body was under the carport, because sometimes when they say like just left her in a trash can, I think like, well, what the fuck, dude? It restores my faith in humanity, you know, that he at least put it under the carport. He was trying to get away with it.
It's not like some of these where they just leave the body in the house for days.
Nah. Yeah.
He's like, well, that's it.
Put her I guess people trash. They just freeze, you know, when they do that. They're like, once they're dead, they're like,
yeah.
Well, my immediate problem is solved, but now
what? Well, there's trash day is Wednesday, so
what's that? Did he like you said he called the police? He's the one who called them?
Yeah, officers responded to a home after a man admitted to killing his mother. So I'm assuming well, it doesn't say he actually called them. It says he later confessed in an interview, but they went to the home after he admitted. So maybe he told someone else and then they called. But it's not telling you everything.
Well, they're not afraid to go ahead and charge first-degree murder down there.
Oh, no.
Man, you can't do it in New York. It's just, they just almost won't, because it's like you have to prove intent, but like they'll only do it if it's a cop or something.
Oh, yeah.
You know, so it's an automatic first-degree murder charge. These, you know,
and how's that working out?
Murderers eventually get out.
Yeah.
It's like 20 years and then less, you know. Probably. It's maybe 20 to life. I don't know, but
yeah. Well, he's done. Once again, these are a lot of stories I can't really. Ohio woman.
They look so interesting. It looks like somebody did a.
Ooh, that's almost like
the top two are not doable.
No, these are really bad.
The teacher one is good.
All right, let's see what this is. Gee. He looks like a really crappy Santa Claus.
Well, yeah, it's like this is the kind of person that I really on sight just dislike.
Even more than the anchorman.
Yeah. And and he does look to be some sort of like either I can't always tell, like a Spanish descent or like a Muslim type of descent, but like that beard, the way it's cut and shaped is like it's that big round but neat kind of look, and then on top he's got fucking his on the sides it's shaved, but a lot of hair on top that he's combed,
right?
Salt and pepper, you know. I just like it's like you put a lot of effort into looking fucking stupid and mean. It's also the beard, the no mustache beard.
Yeah, I don't like that. Yeah.
No mustache beard is like a big red flag for me.
So he's a teacher who allegedly sexually abused animals and use students' photos and AI to share child abuse material.
Wow.
So, Holly Hill, Florida, a 47-year-old teacher is in custody after, doing all that shit. A detective received a tip on June 2nd from the National Center for Missing and Endangered Children regarding someone sharing child sex abuse material with a Discord account. Investigators reportedly identified David McCowan, so not Hispanic and religion, I don't know, as
Well,
the owner of the account.
well good, because I'm glad I tee off on his appearance. It has nothing to do with any kind of
Yeah,
ethnicity,
right.
prejudice, bias, or anything. But I mean, the guy, it's the animal stuff that I'm trying.
Yeah.
Like, usually, these sick perverts
Yes.
are they got it nailed down to one or
Right.
the other.
Right. They're very specific to their target.
This guy, though,
He'll apparently do anything. Authorities allege.
except a grown woman.
I know. What's your problem with women? Shared 19 files depicting child sexual abuse, along with 6 other files depicting McCowan sexually abusing animals. According to law enforcement officials, McCowan was a middle school teacher at United Brethren in Christ Academy, and he is accused of downloading and communicating with other Discord users during school hours. So, once again, he's doing this while on the clock, while
Yeah.
connected to the school's Wi Fi network. Oh, well, he wanted to use their free Wi Fi.
Another brilliant move. Jesus, dude.
He's a
Discord.
teacher. Yeah, I know. What the hell are you doing? Authorities served a search warrant at McCowan's home on June 20th and seized multiple electronic devices. According to the Department of Law Enforcement, investigators discovered multiple messages between McCowan and other online users that showed he was sharing personal information and photos of possible students at his school. Jeez.
Doxing kids that people might want to be interested in.
Right. As well as AI generated sexual abuse material. Officials also reportedly seized electronic devices from United Brethren in Christ Academy. The Department of Law Enforcement, with the assistance of Holly Hill Police, arrested McCowan on 19 felony counts of possession of child sexual abuse material, 6 felony accounts of sexually abusing animals. He remains in the Volusia County Jail. So, Florida Department of Law Commissioner Mark.
I'm not even comfortable with the fucking genericness of this. Animals.
Yeah.
Like, what animals?
I know. Was it
dogs, cats?
I'm assuming. Yeah.
Were
they his pets?
Chickens?
Oh, God.
Goat?
Oh, no.
I think goat would be good because you got handlebars there, but like.
Yeah. Should the ranches, hey, I don't want you around my cows.
Yeah, he gets on drops you a C note to look the other way. And
yeah. How much? Let me fuck your cow.
Now your cows are running all the way far past you in the corner of the fence.
Yeah.
Every time they see that car pull up.
Oh, jeez. Not only was this individual trafficking in vile material, but he was doing it on school grounds during school hours, surrounded by children. An FDLE, the Florida Law Enforcement Commissioner, will never allow predators to hide behind screens or school walls. When we find out about them, we will track them down, expose them, and bring them to justice. Well,
I mean, I just can't believe that anybody would look at this guy and put him in a room full of kids.
I know.
I wouldn't hire this guy to be a janitor at a fucking high school.
No. Oh.
He's fucking,
What a shitty haircut, because he's like, yeah, he shaved the sides so much so, with so much hair on top, it looks like he's wearing a toupee. Shitty toupee.
This guy is so fucking concerned about how fat his head is that he does that trick, which I do a little bit, I mean, shorter on the sides. That's a normal looking haircut.
I know, but your hair is so short on top.
Yeah, but this guy with his beard is like,
Yeah, yeah.
I don't want you to see my big, fat, stupid face or my dumb, fat neck. And I want
Oh
my head to
God.
look thinner on top. It's like, okay, dude.
Oh, what a
Everybody hates you.
yes, and they should. Sometimes hatred is a good thing.
Sometimes it's just a very natural thing.
Yeah, especially in the face of that.
Man, there are some vicious, vicious crimes this week.
I'm afraid so. Hmm. Well, almost a similar note. Not quite, but woman allegedly sent nude selfies to 14-year-old boy for months before being busted by school resource officer. So, well,
Oh
she's
my
cute.
God. Someone's
Yeah,
complaining about
I
this?
know. She's boy, from one extreme to the other. She's absolutely gorgeous.
Case dismissed. She's just sending nudes.
Yeah. I mean, my only complaints, where's my collection?
But if the boy would have shared it with anybody else, that's revenge porn.
Right. He'd be so much in trouble. A former education worker in upstate New York was charged with a felony earlier this month after she was allegedly caught sending nude selfies to a 14-year-old boy over a 3-month period. Anna Maria Malazzo, 22, of Elmira or Elmira?
Elmira.
Elmira? Okay. Is facing a felony charge of disseminating indecent material. Well, come on. I mean, look at her. To minors in the second degree and a misdemeanor charge of endangering the welfare of a child after she
In the world of indecent material, this is among the most decent.
she was busted messaging the boy and reported to authorities on June 9th. The Chemung County Sheriff's Office report. A school resource officer assigned to the greater southern tier of boards of cooperative educational services received a complaint alleging Malazzo sent indecent material. The criminal division learned that over a 3-month period, yeah, we know, to a 14-year-old boy.
She sent the stuff over a 3-month period.
Yes, she was really into this kid.
She's into getting his fucking little 14-year-old dick hard.
Yes, that's what she was trying to do. According to the local NBC affiliate Wedham,
Wedham. WETM, Wedham.
Wedham. Malazzo is a former BOSC.
Yeah, BOCS. What
I don't know why that
BOCES.
former boxes employee. Employee who used to work at the facility in Chemung County, which is located in the western part of the Empire State near Pennsylvania border. She was put on leave as soon as we were first made aware of the allegations by law enforcement and has not been present since that time. So that's they cover their asses. The statement added that BOCES will continue to cooperate fully with law enforcement. The New York State Legislature created the BOCES in 1948 to provide shared educational programs and services to school districts within the state. While Malazzo was charged with a felony, cops said she was not taken into custody after being caught and reported by BOCES. The former education worker was given a ticket. There's a citation for this.
A desk appearance ticket.
Yeah.
For a misdemeanor. AKA a disappearance ticket. So, it might be a little different up in Wellsburg Village. But in New York, yeah, it's often a disappearance ticket.
Wow. Uncommon Sense says, dang, where were teachers like her when I was in school? Oh, wait, we didn't have smartphones. We had Polaroid. Pissed off and Cap? I don't know.
And Cap.
Yeah. She's a nice piece of ass. I had a handful of teachers I would have said, hell yes to. Oh, yeah.
Well, for 3 months, he complied.
I think so. I'm not who found out, I guess, must have seen it and squealed. He was showing it off to friends and shit. And it got around. And then the resource officer, well, this will not do.
I mean, you cannot expect a 14-year-old boy to be discreet about nudes he's receiving.
No, just no way.
What a dumb fuck. This guy makes a point here. This is Klingon psychiatrist.
Yeah.
From 7 days ago. She literally looks like a confused deer in headlights. All she had to do was wait 4 years.
Yeah.
And it would have been legal.
Right.
Now look, in New York, it's only 3.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, the age of consent. Yeah.
Yeah, 17. I guess the age of consent is sex. It's probably for sex, it's the same as the age of consent to receive nude photos.
Right. Yeah, I know. I don't know what the parameters are there because there are no allegations of sex between them.
I wonder if
I have to wonder if it didn't. It probably did happen.
I mean, who knows, right? But I mean, if they confiscated his phone, it doesn't matter. Those pictures are burned into his brain.
Oh, yeah.
Forever. He has stared at them a good deal. How in the fuck did she pick one? This is what's wrong. They gotta quit letting these 20, 22-year-old women, or men for that matter, be teachers.
At a high school.
Yeah, she's looking like barely out of high school.
Yes. And that's part of the problem. On a level, she's still a bit pathetic, but at the same time, she still identifies with the age. It's only a handful of years for her that she was in the same position,
Yeah.
So
yeah, I mean, like it's just, and this is not excusing it at all.
No,
I'm
it's
saying,
not. Yeah,
but you're not going to fix the problem just by going like, don't do that.
Yeah, I know.
Because if they know not to do this,
right?
They already know.
Yeah, she knows it's wrong.
Yeah. So like, it doesn't matter if you want it to stop. You're going to have to just maybe a 30-year-old, age requirement.
Yeah.
For teachers of, teenagers. Because I'd like to think that she could restrain herself, with third graders.
Yeah,
but send nudes to them, and they're eating their boogers and whatnot.
Yeah, there's been cases of those too.
It's happened,
but
I mean, but this is just asking for trouble.
Come on. I mean,
in
a high school teenage boy and your teacher looks like that. That's no.
But it wouldn't matter if she was fat. It'd be even worse then, as far as she'd be sucking all day dicks.
Yeah.
That's what they do.
Yeah.
The fat ones actually come through with something.
Girls will suck dick. But just the whole thing, I don't know. I was saying, oh, well, they'd have to, she can only teach girls, and then the lesbians. And that again, I'm at the point where, for the most part, I don't really trust male teachers.
No.
Either,
But then again, I guess, like, look at Mary Kay Letourneau. She was definitely in her 30s.
She was in her 30s, yeah, and the kid was 11
at first.
Yeah.
11?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Very mature 11. But that, these things, man.
Yeah.
This is a little easier to laugh off, but they ended up married with kids.
Right.
And this woman was the defining character in his fucking life. He really didn't have that much of a choice.
No.
Even when she's locked up. I mean, she got out, made a beeline to have sex with him. He gets her pregnant. She got herself pregnant, I mean, she's the adult.
Yes.
And so, like, when she got out, like, early, they were like, just one thing you can't do.
Yeah.
She's like, no,
you
got
have
it.
the one rule. Don't be anywhere near it. First thing she did was fuck him in her car.
Yep. Now he's a dad.
Yes. Jeez. Well, she's dead now, so. But
and so is he, isn't he? Didn't he die?
I don't think so.
Man, he's probably just like, what is my life?
I know. Yeah.
This one teacher that I met has been my love object for life.
Yeah.
He's got kids older than him. And he knows no other kind of interaction with a female, I would think.
No, he hasn't had the normal things you do with girls your age and the development and all that. He didn't
Even
get
an older
any of
woman
that.
who's not your fucking teacher,
Right, right.
who didn't pluck you up as an 11-year-old. She left her damn husband and 6 kids.
Yeah.
That's a psychopath.
Oh, she was nuts. And but she started a trend. I mean, ongoing to this day.
She was the first.
She was a pioneer.
Canary in the coal mine. Yes. Sort of.
Speaking of crazy bitches, prison nurse who fatally poisoned her husband so she could marry an inmate is headed to prison herself. Sadly, not the same prison.
The guy would have been very happy to just get out of the way, I'm sure.
Yeah, just go. She looks pissed in her mugshot, It's like,
are you serious?
Yeah.
Prison nurse. Ugh.
So a Missouri woman who formerly worked as a prison nurse reached a plea agreement in connection with her husband's poisoning death. After evidence surfaced, she was having an affair with an inmate. Amy L. Murray, 47, entered an Alford plea.
Do you know what that is?
No, I'm not familiar. I know
that's when you said that's like there's obviously guilty, not guilty, and then there's 2 other kinds of pleas. One is an Alford plea where you say, I didn't do these things, but I will grant you that the state will have no problem convicting me on the evidence.
Oh, that's like what Nick Rekieta was talking about with Melton the other day.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, okay. Because I know of no contest, but essentially this one is, I just can't beat the case against me.
Yeah, I mean, you've got all this evidence.
I'm not saying I'm guilty.
In fact, I'm saying I'm not guilty. I didn't do it.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't think you remain agnostic on it. You're like actually saying, I did not do it.
Right.
Certainly not admitting to it. And okay.
All right. So in the hopes that one day the real killer can be found.
Secondary murder of her husband, 37-year-old Joshua Murray.
Yeah.
His body was found in the burnt remains of the couple's home in Iberia, Missouri. And the medical examiner determined he died prior to the fire. So she burned the body.
Yeah.
And I guess there's no smoke in the lungs. Or not enough.
He obviously wasn't burned enough to cover up whatever the toxicology would reveal.
You'd have to burn the whole fucking thing to ashes.
Yeah, yeah.
It's hard to get a fire that hot.
Right. So
he died as a result of being poisoned with what?
Ethylene glycol or antifreeze.
Oh, you fucking cunt. So it was probably little by little.
Probably, yeah.
To me, that's the worst kind of murder.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's like, I really, day by day, I am further committing to this. I want him dead that much. I'm willing to go little by little and watch him suffer and be sick.
Yeah. There's been several cases like this. There's kind of the typical means by which women kill their husbands, as like arsenic and whatnot. And it's little by little. They'll fix them their meals or drinks or whatever. And he's just like, God, yeah, I just feel like shit all the time.
And this tastes like shit. This coffee's terrible.
I know. Yeah. And then he's dead. And
sometimes the guy gets wise and he puts like a fucking, I've seen them do that. There's one case, at least, the guy put a camera up and caught her putting shit like that and just putting poison in his coffee.
I remember that. There was one guy. She would make him these protein shakes. And give him that, and he almost died, but he managed to. I think he was at a gym or whatever, and they called and they looked at his drink, trying to figure out what was wrong with him, and they literally could smell it in it. I guess he was so acclimated to it he didn't notice.
Oh my!
But he thought it was some super duper health drink that would help him bulk up or some shit.
Oh, and then she's probably saying, "Don't forget to drink a protein shake."
Right. Yeah,
drink it all.
She was constantly insisting that he do it. And bitch.
And she was with another inmate. I mean, all she had to do.
She's fucking the inmate. Yeah.
Which is already rape. That's considered rape. I mean, I don't
Yes.
know about it if it's a prison nurse, but I imagine as an employee, she has a certain amount of power over
Right.
the guy. And so, like, if I mean, I know that if you're a corrections officer and you have sex with an inmate, it doesn't matter the female, male, none of that shit matters. You go to prison for rape.
Wow. It's almost like statutory rape. The prisoner is not allowed to say, look, I was into it.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
I like they listen to anything a fucking prisoner says, but the victim,
Terrible witness.
yeah. I will write you a letter of no, that's okay.
Character. Authorities also determined the fire was a result of arson. Huh.
No shock there.
According to
Coincidentally, the place burned down with his body in it.
what are they?
This woman, look at what she fucking poisoned her husband and set her house on fire.
Yeah.
That must have been some good dick.
Let's find out. According to the probable cause statement, it was discovered that Amy Murray was having an affair with an inmate at the Jefferson City Correctional Center where she was employed as a nurse. Investigators listened to phone calls between Amy and the inmate, Eugene Claypool, who was convicted of second-degree murder in 2001 and is serving a life sentence. During those phone, you can never be with this guy. So during the phone calls, which took place before the fire, Amy Murray reportedly expressed her desire to divorce her husband, then divorce him. Yeah. December 11th, 2018, Amy Murray told police that she, her 11-year-old son, and two family dogs had taken a trip to McDonald's. When they returned home, the house was on fire. Amy Murray told police that she was not able to go inside the house because it was filled with smoke. Joshua Murray's body was found on the bed in the master bedroom. After the fire, Amy Murray told Claypool that her husband was now out of the picture. That the two could now marry.
Fuck. There's kids.
Yeah. Yeah. And
now, how did she get those kids in the car?
I know.
Go into McDonald's and then go back and set the fucking place on fire without them kind of like going, hey, maybe they were young. 11-year-old son.
He had a son and the two dogs.
Oh, she took the fucking dogs out of the house.
Yes.
Wow.
To go to McDonald's. The dogs always go to McDonald's.
Oh, they like to go out.
Yes.
In the car. Dogs love that sometimes. But it's nuts. I mean, it's not nuts. It's just so disgusting. She's like, well, why should my dogs have to die? I like my little doggies.
Well, she still loved the dogs. And I guess her son.
He wasn't standing in the way.
So she proposed hiring Claypool, an attorney, to try to get his sentence appealed and he could be released.
She proposed hiring one?
Yeah.
But she also proposed to him.
Yes, I know. He's like, hey, don't rush this. I mean, you killed your last husband.
But whoa.
Yeah.
Hey, let's not take this too fast. Maybe just see what happens,
Amy was originally charged with 4 felonies in connection with the death of her husband: first-degree murder, armed criminal action, second-degree arson, and tampering with physical evidence. She was also charged with first-degree sexual abuse. And yeah, there you go. She's the nurse at the prison and 3 counts of offender abuse by employee of corrections.
That means that at least 3 times that they could prove they hooked up.
So she only got 12 years for this, but it's a plea deal. But God,
what?
Her boyfriend's in for
no.
That's what she gets.
12 years.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, Missouri. Take this one to trial.
And burned him in their house.
That's the most heartless shit.
Yeah. This is bullshit.
That's the most cold-blooded shit. And she's going to be out.
Yeah.
Before her son turns 23.
And with good behavior, helping out the nurse at the prison. Yeah. She'll be out 5.
This is that is a miscarriage of justice. That's not enough.
No,
They gave her a sweetheart deal.
especially like we were saying, she potentially tortured this man to death.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, like almost certainly. I mean, hard to get a guy to drink that much antifreeze at once.
Right. Yeah. I mean, she was obviously mixing it in drinks and shit.
And arson. So we got
Yeah. Yeah.
murder, first degree murder, arson,
Right.
rape or sexual abuse,
Right. Of the prisoner. And
tampering with evidence.
12 years.
God.
Well, she says she didn't do it.
Even for just the murder, even for just the arson.
Yeah.
God.
I mean, this is a minor inconvenience for her.
This is a menace.
Yes. Odds are she'll kill again.
I mean, I wouldn't be a bit surprised. Man. Wow, the law smiles on those with a vagina.
It goes a long way. Meanwhile, a man allegedly asked a woman if he could borrow her granddaughter and tried to kidnap the child twice. Well,
I asked.
There's his mugshot, and there's no surprise there.
Whitey?
Yeah.
But with like, I don't know what kind of filter they got on this fucking thing. It almost looks like an oil painting.
Yeah, it is, but it's also a lot of red.
Yeah.
If he was
maybe he's a landscaper.
Yeah. Deputies responded to a Safeway store on South Kipling Parkway to report of an attempted abduction. Authorities said an 8-year-old girl was shopping with her grandmother in the produce section when Bradley Wilson, a stranger, went up to the child, put his hand on her shoulders, and asked, "May I borrow your child?" Deputies allege that Wilson tried to walk away with the 8-year-old and her grandmother yelled at him. The child reportedly escaped and ran back to her grandma. According to the sheriff's office, Wilson exited the store, but returned shortly after and attempted to kidnap the girl again. Staff yelled at Wilson and he drove away. Deputies located Wilson and took him into custody. He remains held in the Jefferson County Jail. Second-degree kidnapping of a minor. The child and her grandmother were unharmed. They don't have any.
Boy, how stingy this grandmother is with her grandchild.
He just wanted to borrow the kid for a minute or two.
I just want to borrow her.
Yeah, I'll bring her back.
What for? You don't even really ask what for, do you?
No.
It's like, well, no. Not under any circumstances. You can't rent her. No borrowing, no long-term lease, no short-term lease, no.
Right.
No touching my grandchild.
Well, no.
Get your hands off her fucking shoulders. I mean, is this the crime that Bradley Wilson had been planning?
I don't. The first thing he does is ask if he can borrow the child.
Now, what could you possibly need a child for?
Well,
I mean, besides the obvious,
Yeah.
But or
like, oh, I dropped my phone and it went under that table, and she's really small. Could she get under there and get it?
Yeah. She's got little arms.
Yeah.
I dropped some shit in. It's sort of in this hard to reach place on in the car.
Yeah.
Or like maybe, I got this babysitter I'm trying to trick into coming over. And
I need the girl to pretend to be mine.
Yeah.
Oh, geez.
We'll just put her to bed. We'll give her a snack, put her to bed, and then I can hit on the babysitter.
Right.
She'll wonder, why in the world do I need to be here if you're here? But,
yeah.
Oh, this is nuts.
Yeah. Well, he didn't think this through.
Boy, you can say that again. Can't be his first offense.
Well, I imagine now they have probable cause to search his phone, and that'll probably lead to all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, the follow-up on this would be interesting to see, like, what is this guy's deal?
Yeah.
Mental patient?
Something.
Just these guys are so driven by their fucking,
their obsessions. Yeah.
by their obsessions, right? That they can't make any. I mean, look, I'm not trying to say there's a rational way to abduct a child.
Yeah, there really is. But it's like,
But in terms of trying to even, maybe not get caught,
yeah,
go to a playground, snatch one, something like that.
Right. Like the guy driving around in the typically white van.
Yeah,
There's some kids playing. He grabs one.
There's a whole grooming period you might want
to
consider, help me find my lost puppy.
That's yeah.
I mean,
instead he walks right up to the adult. Hey, help me out here.
Yeah,
I need to borrow a kid for a bit.
I'm really interested in doing terrible things to a kid.
Could you help me out?
I'll give her back.
Yes. Oh my God. Jeez. Well,
it must have been that he was just like he had his hands on her shoulders when she turned around.
Yeah, maybe
he just said the first thing. He said the first thing that came to mind or something.
What the hell? Yeah. I want to kidnap your granddaughter.
I mean,
can I
borrow her?
Yeah, that'll sound less threatening, right?
Excuse me.
Well, let's end on a lighter note. Half-naked Iowa woman, 21, caught burning stolen American flags at 4:25 a.m. So,
okay, thanks for getting the time right in there in the headline.
Yeah, I know, that's
weird.
Important. Her name is Brianna Laird, and I don't know, it's a really fuzzy.
Super low res.
Yeah, it's terrible, but she looks like a cute girl.
Maybe that's why it's there for.
Yeah,
supposed to be flattering.
Yes, I want the filter.
Oh, and this is the good kind of half naked.
Yes. Oh, yes. The 21-year-old Iowan is behind bars after police say they found her naked from the waist down, burning stolen American flags. So that's the kind of protests I can get behind.
Oh. What a dangerous, way to be dressed while you're burning things.
Were the flags originally her skirt? And she Cops were dispatched at 4:25 a.m. upon getting a report about a nude female lighting American flags in Bussy City, 60 miles from Des Moines. When officers located the suspect, she had an American flag tied around her head and was not wearing pants or underwear. So she had it on her head. She looks fine. So I guess it didn't burn her head,
Oh yeah, her head wasn't on fire.
Yeah. So after reportedly giving officers a false name, Laird allegedly resisted arrest and kicked 2 cops. It was learned that the flag.
If a woman has like no pants or underwear on burning flags, she's not going to go peaceably.
No, this isn't. She's like, oh, I'm sorry. Was that wrong? Okay.
Okay. All right.
I'll get in the back seat. I might want to put something on it.
She's going to fight.
Yeah. So it was learned that the flags that were taken and damaged belonged to the city of Bussy.
Oh.
Laird was found in possession of a bag containing drug paraphernalia, which she probably ingested. The drugs.
Yeah, there was the leftovers.
Yeah, the paraphernalia is still there, but not the drugs. Laird, who lives in Knoxville, not Tennessee, a city outside Bussy, is locked up on $4,000 bond. She was arraigned on a host of charges, including arson, assault, indecent exposure. Well, look, she's cute. Yeah.
Halfway decent.
Yeah.
Exposure.
Theft and possession of drug paraphernalia. Additionally, a criminal complaint filed today charges her with desecration of a flag. Could have been even more serious if she'd been burning the pride flag, because facing serious charges for.
Wait, what state is this in again?
Iowa, isn't it? Des Moines? Yeah, Iowa.
Oh, Knoxville, Iowa.
Yeah, they got their own Knoxville.
Iowa, man. That was meth, I guess.
So, well, it says at the time of her arrest, she was on probation for a 2023 marijuana possession conviction. In 2022, she was convicted of driving under the influence. So she's
Oh.
got problems.
Oh, she likes a few different ways to get fucked up, I guess. Brianna.
Well, this is her most spectacular event.
Is that what all 21-year-old girls are named?
Brianna. She'll shorten that to Bree shortly.
Yeah, Bree. I'm sure she goes by Bree.
I'm Bree.
Bree Laird.
And I'm just mad about the wire.
This is my little way of protesting.
But yeah, but where are your pants? I don't know.
Well, that's part of it.
Well, that
I'm protesting pants. I'm against America and pants.
And pants. Or panties.
And I hate the city of Bussy.
Yeah. Well, all right then. Good luck, Bree.
That is on the lighter side.
Yes. I always like to find one after all that horrific shit.
Yeah, no one got hurt in that story. No grandkids got strangled. No husbands got murdered.
No, just a flag got burnt and a pair of pants was lost.
No animals had sore asses.
I know. God damn it. What the fuck?
Sorry to remind you.
Yeah. Oh, well, there you go. You're welcome. Good luck, Bree. The rest, you can all burn in hell. Once again, thanks for doing.
I hold out some hope for the 22-year-old teacher. Actually,
oh yeah, she could. Yeah, there's some potential for redemption there.
Maybe purgatory or something.
Yeah, not quite. Well, even the grandma. I mean, she shouldn't have strangled the granddaughter, but
my granddaughter's probably exaggerating.
Yeah. Yeah, probably wasn't that big of a deal. They were fighting over the meth. Get your own meth, loafing bitch.
Move out.
Yes. All right, there we go. We've done another round of fascinating stories. It gives you an overall view of certain bits of our population and our great nation. And we'll do something else next week and eventually do this again. But for more of fascinating back and forth with me and Pat Dixon, check out Pat's show on PD Dixon on YouTube.
Just also, P Dixon. It's just P Dixon.
Oh, that's right. I'm sorry. Yeah, P Dixon. Sorry.
But mainly what I would like them to do, because we're always together on censored.tv, compound censored. Let's just call it censored.tv because it's easier to remember. Use the promo code PAT for 20% off monthly and annual subscriptions. We're there a couple of times a week. So just part of all the fine programming over there. And the app works really, really well.
It does. It's a lot of fun. And we're doing them live with the Jokes Kill show. And there you can utilize Super Tip. That's supertip.gg/Dixon.
And on Censored, we can really say anything we want.
Anything. A lot of it, even I don't approve of, but it's allowed. It's really, if you're easily offended, well,
you might as well go burn flags with your pants off.
That's a good note to end. Thanks, Pat. We'll do it again soon.
Thanks.
The views and opinions expressed during the Mr. Nailsin show do not necessarily reflect those held by RadioMisfits.com. So, any complaints and or comments should be sent to @Mr. Nailsin on Twitter, where they will be promptly ignored and or blocked.